Going on, Jerome's beautiful Sunday. Birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. So, of course, the news yesterday was that the Vikings and A-Aron Jones, field dates. Vikings and running back A-Aron Jones agreed to move the void date on his contract from this Monday until the final day before free agency. If Jones had not been extended by Monday, the team would have taken on $3.2 million in dead money in 2025. This expands the window for Jones and Minnesota to continue to negotiate a new deal that would avoid that amount hitting the cap in full for 2025. Now, the Vikings do have a couple of other veterans who are subject to void year cap hits: Stephon Gilmore, Sam Darnold, as well as Byron Murphy Jr. Unlikely that either of those three are going to have a new deal by Monday, so the Vikings will take on about $10 million in dead cap. That's already been baked into the salary cap space. And for Jones, it's a clear sign that they want to work something out with A-Aron Jones, and Jones also open to returning, because otherwise either side could have just pulled the plug on pushing the void year deadline. And his market estimate from Spot Rack is about $5.6 million. I'll take it, because Jones, set a career high for rushing yards last year. He had some explosive plays out of the backfield, great team leader, great pass protector. And also, he's not just a receiving running back. He's literally a receiver out there. Like, they put him out, lined up as a wideout, and he'll run pass patterns. Like, he'll be really good. Catches with his hands. He's fantastic. And I still think that he has a lot to give this game. I don't think that he should be a bell cow running back one. So have A-Aron Jones. I would bring back Cam Akers so we don't have to trade for him, and then hammer running back in the draft. I think that's what the Vikings should do. I think that this should become more of a running back by committee. And then guess what? Hey, if you fix interior offensive line, which you can do, all of a sudden all the running backs get so much better. It's kind of crazy how things work out. Speaking of the draft, so in one of our mock drafts, we were finally able to take A-Aron Hampton at 24. Now, I know what everyone's saying, right? Because whenever you talk about one player, you're just like, you don't have a running back if you don't have a defensive line. Blah, 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 blah. Because it's almost like people think that you can add one player per offseason. Nah, like, you can walk and chew gum. You can draft A-Aron Hampton at 24 whilst fixing the O-line as well as D-line as well as addressing cornerback in free agency. You can do that. You could walk and chew gum at the same time, right? And also, the draft shouldn't be about needs, although sometimes that's what it boils down to. I understand a lot of our mock drafts are need-based, but you should be able to take BPA, best player available, because guess what? If you do that for a couple of cycles and you just get dudes in here, guess what? The team as a whole gets better, because stuff happens, right? And drafting for need keeps you drafting for need. Just no bueno. Just get good MFing dudes on this team. That's all we want, man. But A-Aron Hampton, back-to-back 1,500 plus 15 rushing touchdown seasons, solid receiver out of the backfield as well. Plus, maybe it's because we've been brainwashed by the outside zone, where we're looking for that running back with patience and elusiveness, as well as put your foot in the ground, one cut and go. Woo! It's great. It's great when it works. I mean, Dalvin Cook is fantastic when you see it, right? But it's been so long since we had that power running back with that home run speed ability. You know what I mean? Like Adrian Peterson, back in the day, man gap power running back. And also you were racking up and stacking up things behind Steve Hutchinson, and you just had this massive offensive line, Bryant McKinney and everything. It was just great, man. And A-Aron Hampton, he wore 28 at North Carolina, wore 28 in high school. I mean, dollars to donuts, he wore 28 as an homage to Adrian Peterson. So will they allow A-Aron to wear 28? Well, 28 should be retired. So I understand. Hey, if 28, 84, and 93 are retired, then the Vikings are up to like 11 retired numbers. You're going to run out of numbers, bro. Like, the 90-man roster is literally 90 men. They all need individual numbers, but I digress. I'm not really a fan of retiring numbers. Like, you can lower circulation for the numbers, or I actually like what the stupid ass Cowboys do with 88. They bestow it upon their tier 1 receiver, or what LSU does with 7 or 18, or what USC does with linebacker 55, or Alabama quarterback 12, things like that. Why can't the Vikings do that with their stud receiver wears 84, their stud defensive lineman wears 93, and their stud running back wears 28? Why not? Why the hell not? Yeah. But like I said, my heart says Amarian Hampton because we want that power running game. It's a lot of fun watching Amarian. But my head says Travion Henderson or Caleb Johnson. And I just think that if O'Connell is hell for leather for sticking with the outside zone, Henderson and Johnson are where you need to be. All right. And Hampton, does he have the patience or the vision or that one cut ability? I don't know, but it's so much fun watching Hampton run. It really is. Just that power, just the way he gets after things. It's impressive. It's really, really impressive. But Henderson just reminds me so much of Dalvin. Caleb Johnson reminds me a lot of David Johnson. Not as good of a receiver, but David Johnson adjacent, from back in the day, the pride of UNI. But I don't know. All right, so again, my heart says Amarian Hampton. My head says Henderson or Johnson. My loins say Cam Scattaboo. I don't know, man. There's a billion running backs in this class. I even talked about R.J. Harvey, Devin Neal. Go Jayhawks. R.J. Harvey is Bucky Irving, and I'm here for every single second of it. It's just there's so many damn good players in this draft. I can't get over it. No, but it's gonna be a good running back class, and the Vikings, coming back to Aaron Jones, the Vikings should bring back Aaron Jones. Cam Akers is a solid 3-down back, and then pick up a young running back, and then just go from there. Also going from there is the Bill Belichick. Speaking of college football, the head coach of UNC, still obviously keeps an eye on the NFL game. Released his 2024 All-Belichick team in such illustrious fashion, as it were. 2 Vikings made the first team. Got Jefferson at the Z, as well as got Jonathan Grenard at outside linebacker over Jared Verse, who had 4.5 sacks. Cool. But yeah, the Vikings get 2 representatives on there. And overall, there's some dudes that, there's some players that don't get the love and attention that they deserve, and I'm glad that Belichick sees this. Zach Allen for the Broncos is a monster, as well as Vita Vea for the Bucks, underrated. Always one of my favorite players. Sear Stingley, Derek Gabe Joseph, starting, whatever. Zach Bond getting some love. I'm sort of surprised that Andrew Van Ginkel didn't get on this list. I feel like that would be right up Belichick's alley, but I don't know. They got Cooper DeJean as the nickelback. This is how you remind me. Offensive line-wise, so Malata, Thuney, Humphrey, Quinn Manners, Lane Johnson. Shocker. Yeah. What does a highlight mean? Does a highlight mean starter or no? Or it doesn't matter. For slot, Amon-Ra, the ex-receiver, you got Jamar. I feel like that would be a damn good unit. You got Jamar, you got Amon-Ra, you got Justin freaking Jefferson. It's good. Quarterbacks, Josh Allen over Lamar. Running back, Saquon, Gibbs, Derrick Henry. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Also, it's good to see guys like Mainers get some respect. Elton Jenkins getting some respect too, and it's good to see. And I don't know, I feel like Belichick should just replace all the AP voters. Why is Tom Brady voting on things? I feel like it sets a bad precedent. Then you have a minority owner of a team who's voting on MVP and all pros and all that stuff. Just have Belichick in there, man. Also, just have Durante Jones in there. Schefter, Saints will interview Vikings passing game coordinator, defensive backs coach Durante Jones for the defense coordinator position today. That was Saturday. Jones also has interviewed for the Bears and Jaguars during the cycle for their DC jobs. Now, Durante has had 2 stints as Vikings defensive backs coach. He works in tandem with Brian Flores. Flores has a few praise for him. I think that Durante is going to get back out there as a DC. He was defense coordinator for LSU in 2021 for 1 season, but I think that he's going to be in demand, right? And it's kind of weird that for the Vikings assistants, only Grant Udinski got plucked. McCown had 1 interview, but other than that, nothing. Even for OC, nothing for Wes Phillips, nothing for Keenan McCardle, who's interviewed for OC jobs before. But Durante, yeah, he's been in demand. And Flores and this defense risen on up 2 years ago under Donishell. They were the 2nd worst defense in the league. This year they were top 5. So it's something that's definitely been turned around. Durante got the respect of the players. He's a great communicator. He's great with X's and O's. I think that he would be a great DC, maybe a really great head coach someday down the line. But obviously would like to hang on to him. But if he gets a gig, respect. Although, does it have to be the stupid-ass Saints? I'm not saying. Also, this is really great, too. Chuck Foreman, Spin Doctor, where it all started at the University of Miami. And this is great, too, because Foreman played before the U was the U. You know what I mean? Like, the Miami Hurricanes were sort of up and down. Like, they were good when Chuck was there. They had some down years. Schnellenberger came in there, changed the entire culture. And then, of course, you got Jimmy Johnson and Dennis Erickson and Butch Davis and Larry Coker, that whole run in there too. But that's just the U being the U, right? Also, I love that Miami used to have green helmets. That's really good. And I feel like this season was nice. Cam Ward, bringing the Canes back to prominence. I feel like college football is better when Miami is good, and Miami hasn't been good for a while. Like they've had some really tough years, but I mean the whole state of Miami, like that should be fertile recruiting grounds, and they should be a dominant national program still, but they haven't. I don't know what it is. Like I feel like Miami, with all that money from businesses down there, I feel like they should dominate NIL, but I guess we'll see. Speaking of money, all right, so this one sort of irked me. Spot Rack, top reported sports broadcaster analysts annual salaries. So Shaq, TNT just got a new deal. Like inside the NBA just got a whole new deal. They're keeping the band together, which is great. So Shaq's getting $15 million a year. Barkley's getting 21. Wait, hold on. How come Shaq gets 50 and Barkley gets 21? I don't know. But some of these other numbers. Yeah. So Stephen A gets $20 million a year. Why? Just the ridiculous money that Stephen A and Skip Bayless get. Come on, man. Aikman gets 18. Romo gets 18. McAfee gets 17. Joe Buck gets 15. So ESPN is paying out. What was it? I'm really good at math. $33 million a year for Buck and Aikman. Why? Nah. But of course, the creme de la creme is Tom Brady. Again, that 10-year, $375 million deal. He's making more than Aikman, who's been a very well-established color analyst for decades at this point. Romo, who, I don't know. I still don't know. At least he's not guessing the play anymore, which is great. But Brady, who had never broadcast a game before, sort of had mixed reviews his first season, was just handed a Super Bowl in year one. He makes more than Aikman and Romo combined. Which is kind of crazy to think about, Or no, Brady gets more to call one game once a week than Barkley and Shaq combined, who are running inside the NBA a couple times a week for a full NBA season. It's messed up, man. But it's good work even get it. Only in America. That's right, baby. But your thoughts aren't our thoughts. Still, I got dreams. Man. Who knows? Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull, production value.